Hey there, life group leaders and everybody who is currently involved in life groups at Liverpool One Church. Thank you so much for being willing to be part of a group. We love you, we value you, and do me a favor, just show your life group leaders some loving right now, because we absolutely appreciate them so much, because we could not do life groups unless people like your life group leader right now being willing to open up a home or the church or a coffee shop, somewhere where you guys can just meet and gather and grow together, because we all know whilst we learn in rows, we grow in circles. We started a brand new series in church this Sunday that was called Singing in the Dark, and the whole premise of week one's message was taken out of the book of Habakkuk. Really cool book, only 3 chapters. So if you're not a big reader, everyone can read at least 3 chapters in the book of Habakkuk. What's interesting is in the time of Habakkuk's life that we find him writing these ancient scriptures that we now look at and learn so much from. What we see is that that time and season was not particularly great for Habakkuk. It was a time where he would have agreed, God's good, but his life was not. And the reason why it was not was because the Israelites at that time were under attack by the Babylonian armies, and God had told Habakkuk, who was a prophet, one of the minor prophets, that he was going to be using the Babylonians as almost like a tool for him to instigate his judgment on the Israelites, who for a period were displeasing God. It was difficult for Habakkuk, and I think that the transition that we see his life taking throughout the courses of chapter 1, 2, and 3 is similar to the journey that we go on. Chapter 1, they're all just sitting around wondering. Habakkuk's like, what is going on here? In chapter 2, we find that Habakkuk is waiting. He's frustrated, asking the question like, is God going to do anything? Does he know what I'm going through? And then in chapter 3, everything changes. He gives this direction just prior to him choosing to worship God, the Lord Most High. And it's a word that's a directional word called Shiddunoth. I know, it sounds like I'm saying a naughty word. I promise you, I'm not. But basically, that was an instruction, and it was a phrase that was used, and it's only used twice in the scriptures, that encouraged Habakkuk to worship God passionately, exuberantly, loudly, and to just give God all he's got, not for what he's done in his life, but for who he is. And that's really my prayer, that we would learn the art of praising God, not only when life is going good, but we would praise him in the Shiddunoth way, even when life isn't going great, because of who he is, so that we, like Habakkuk, could experience the exact same thing that he learned, as was recorded in chapter 3, verse 9, where he says how God makes his feet like that of the deer, and he takes him to higher heights. In other words, God was the source of strength that clawed him out of the valley, that took him to higher heights, but it happened because he chose to worship. Even when life isn't good, it doesn't change the fact that God still is. So have a great night at Life Group tonight, and maybe you can ask this first question as you kick off in your teams. Have you ever been in a season where it feels so incredibly dark that you don't feel like worshiping God? And what did you do about that? Have a great night, guys.